Hello everybody, welcome to our new game. It's the Dwarves. I've been talking about this one before already for a little bit during one of the Let's Plays of our Undead Warband in more time. But now they're here and I have to say I played already very little of it. Basically I just played the introduction and the first area. And it's really different and very nice, I think. What I have to say, I read it is based on a book, on a novel by Martin Hyde, I think his name was, called, of course, Dwarves. It's a series of 4 books, as far as I remember, and they are really good. I read all of them various times, I think even 6-7 times. They are just fantastic. I highly recommend to read them. Therefore, what is going to happen, I know the whole story, so I will try not to spoil anything, but you will see for yourself. The narration. There will be always, the characters will talk a little bit, and in between somebody will read out the story, which facial expressions, whatever these characters have. But let's quickly go for the settings. I will play on medium level. Fantastic quality, I like that. And I will turn on the subtitles in English. So just we can read a little bit along if we don't understand everything, and that is of course if I don't understand. We're going for the campaign, and let's see what the story has to bring. Most of the loading times, if they're getting too long, I will cut away, even though I might just talk over them and then cut everything out that I was saying. But we'll
Fracas made us from stone to protect Girdlegard. Against orcs, ogres, and all the other beasts of Tion. We are the guardians of Girdlegard. We are the children of the divine smith. We are the Dwarves.
And for now, that is going to be us in the little bit of a tutorial that is coming up now. Not really saying that much, just telling you, yeah, you hit and you kill. And you will see right in the beginning a little bit of different, at least what I think, a different thing. What you know from games like not Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends, you have something similar. You have a few abilities with your character. And you will click around your character in the right direction of these, or in the direction where you want to use it. You can see it here on the bottom. We have the Mighty Blow, we have a charge, as well as a leap attack. And they will use these shields, or the blue indicators, which are beneath it, and they will refill over time. Not only over time, but also if you hit enemies, or if you are... if you're using specific abilities, but that is something for later. So, we have to get into the fight. We are Glandolin at the moment, and there we go, using the leap for that. On enemies that are on the ground, you actually cause critical damage right away, which is killing them instantly, which is pretty nice. So you really need to pay attention to what you're doing. Your character is automatically attacking, makes the whole thing a little bit easier. And you will later on not only lead one guy, but I think up to 4, I would assume. So far the maximum of units I had in my group was 2, but also that in a little bit. For now, you see on the bottom what is our actual objective for this area, and that says we need to kill 60 of these orcs. You can see slowly our bar is always refilling while we just do our automatic attacks. I think we should make a little bit more use of our special attacks. The introduction takes quite some time, especially if you're not familiar to the way of moving your character. In the beginning I was just clicking and say, hey, attack, but until I figured out he does that completely by himself. And after that I felt a little bit stupid.
A present from the workshop.
So these guys threw something down there. It's a chest which we are supposed to collect. You can actually press, I think it was tab, yeah, space is pausing things, and yeah, now later on you will see it was tab that you will show all the things that you can interact with. So we got a new skill, these grenades. We're not going to use them right away. Oh wait, there are quite a nice amount of enemies, so let's throw one or two in. Let them regroup again and use a leap. And you've seen that every time when we use a grenade or also our leap attack, the enemies are just being pushed aside. Same actually counts for our charge. And we need to keep that in mind, because you might have noticed the bridge that is in the lower area. It is possible to push these enemies off the bridge, which helps you at a lot of times, a lot. Understood. Now we need 7 more of these orcs dead. Let's leap inside here to the rest of our group. We're getting a little bit low on health. Not possible right now. Yeah, no points available at the moment. Let's clean the field. Too many of them. I really would like to leap over there, because we are extremely low now.
My king! What are you doing here?
Giselbert I, the father of the Fifthling clan, has not been on the front line of battle against the creatures of Tion for many cycles. The king surveys the battlefield and the defenders with a grave expression.
We are too few.
This you know as well as he does. But there will be no reinforcements arriving. Hundreds of brave warriors lie inside the fortress dying. The illness is running rampant. It brings weakness and death.
Stay at your posts. Be as steadfast as the granite of which we are made. Nothing can break us. Vrakas is with us.
So basically just a little bit of side story of the story itself. It is that the country that we are protecting is surrounded by hills or mountains that cannot be crossed. And there are 5 gates, all protected by... No, there are 4 gates, all protected by 4 of the 5 tribes of the Dwarves. And that story will become in later anyhow, though I will not go too much into that detail. But currently we are attacked by the land itself, as well as the Albi, I think they are called in English, which will show up in a second as well. And this illness is killing the Dwarves at that specific gate. And that's what they've just been talking about. And they don't know any cure for that. But now you can actually see that we are running around with 2 of our units. We can select them while dragging the while dragging with the right mouse button, no, with the left mouse button, or by pressing 1 and 2 we are swapping around. And of course we can just make use of these skills by pausing, saying, hey, you go ahead and do, for example, this, while you run over there and just, for example, jump over here. Let's see how they perform that. Was not really a useful attack, but that's basically how you can do it. We need to get rid of this little guy as well as the little guy on the right. And what we have over here is actually a shield which we should make use of pretty often. Now, one thing I said before about pushing them off the cliff, the big ones, I doubt that it works, but you can see it over there. This guy actually threw him off the cliff. That's very nice. Well, a few of their units. So now we are going to go a little bit ahead and try to get rid of this big fella. And I would like to get in a proper position to heal as many of our units that are around. And let's get him here quickly, and then we'll finish that second ogre. By far, we are not done. We are pushing forward. Let's quickly use this. Oh, there you saw one of the guys flying away quite fast. So, a little bit further south. Oh, I don't know if it's south. A little bit further to where we are heading. Is actually, or are these catapults? Hey, what are you doing so far behind? Get in here. I'd like to get a heal out, so Glendolen is not going down. And then we need to push forward. Maybe at some point finally get where we need to be. And you can see already the difference between different kind of games, and this one, it's absolutely... there's a lot going on at the same time. In order to keep everything under control, you need to swap around and maybe make more use of the pause button than I'm actually doing at the moment. But I think for now, it's fine how we proceed over there. So, Glendolen, we are going to focus on the catapult while Isabel is keeping the orcs a little bit busy. Well, first one is halfway down. Let's quickly get our special attack on it. And then we proceed. Let's leap inside here. About heal up. And make a little bit of space available for us. What's something to notice? Maybe you've seen it now. We are also throwing our own units around when we do a special attack. I don't think that's something that you can see that often. But now I think we should be very, very close to finishing the second catapult as well.
These are the ones who attacked us in the tunnels. We suffered great losses beating them back.
Come here and I'll split you like a straw, you treacherous elf!
In his fury, the old king radiates a ferocious power that none of Citalia's children could withstand. But the slight, willowy being sitting astride the Shadow Mare just grins down, mockingly.
You are mistaken. We are Alpha. We are here to destroy the elves.
All peace-loving beings here in Girdlegard are under our protection, and you cannot open the gate that has barred your path into Girdlegard since the creation of the world.
Not us, but perhaps one of your kind.
This cannot be. Silence, you fool! Vrakas, forgive me for what I am about to do.
Quickly! In formation! You must hold them back until I close the gate!
So there we go, they are called the Alpha, not the Albe. In German they're called Albe. And we need, again, slay orcs until the gate closes again. That's okay, we should handle that. We still have a few of these bombs, so let's make use of them. This will just take a little bit of time. I don't think it's getting too difficult.
On my way!
Hammer time!
Especially since we have a little bit of support from our friends over there.
Come here, you!
And we need to watch out for our leader so he doesn't get too much intercepted by these guys. So, this one down. This one should be the next, and then we're going to leap inside over here. We had 2 out of 5 runes, and the enemies are almost down. I didn't now pay proper attention if there are more and more coming in.
On my way!
It doesn't look like it. 3 out of 5.
Come here, you!
Just a little bit longer. Come on.
Understood!
Well, apparently we can still go ahead. Oh yeah, there are a few more left.
On my way!
The charge, actually, I'm pretty sure you need to be a little bit more careful with that.
On my way! Understood!
And the gate, you can hear it closing. All runes have been activated again.
On my way!
Look at me. I am Syntheras, the Reaper of your death. I will take your life, and the land will take your soul.
Get out of my sight, pointy ears, and let me delight at the closed gate a little longer.
The gate may have closed, but when you rise again from the dead by the power of the land, you will be one of us, and you will open it.
Never! My soul belongs to Brakas.
No. Your soul now belongs to the land, and henceforth you will belong to it forever. Now die, and return. Then hand us Girdlegard.
That is pretty mean fella, isn't he? Actually, just for you to know, there's also a book written about the story of Syntheras himself. It's in German again called the Albe, or the Alpha. Might be that it's just in this case also the English version, but you should read it. It's giving you a really nice insight on the thinking of the Alpha.
You're a perfectionist, Tungdil Bolafar.
I've got a reputation to uphold. If you can't rely on the metalwork of a dwarf, what can you rely on?
Yeah, that is actually the hero, or our main character, Tungdil Bolafar. Or later on he will also get a different name. And the maid. Well, what can I do for you? You look dreadful, that is not nice to say. What can I do for you?
What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. It's Lot Yonan. He wants to see you in his study.
In your mind, you go through all the recent incidents that might have annoyed the Magus. Apart from a few little squabbles with his famuli, nothing worth mentioning happened since the incident with your beard. You nod.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say she looks dreadful. Let's not really likely mean it in a bad way, but did you have a bad night?
You look dreadful.
What a charmer.
The maid gives you an ironic, reprimanding scowl.
Ikana has been crying half the night.
When you were teething, I carried you around the vaults. You played with my beard and I sang you to sleep.
Frala smiles. She's heard this story many times before.
That was 23 cycles ago. But I'm quite sure you didn't sing. You might have grumbled a bit.
If what you've read about the dwarven lifespan is true, it'll be another 300 sun cycles and more before you are called to the Eternal Forge. The certainty of one day having to witness Frala's death already burdens your heart.
I'd better not keep the Magus waiting.
See you later. There's goulash for dinner.
So, this is actually now where we get into the game. One of the things that I need to mention right now is that I had already, after the first 10-15 minutes of playing from this part, a crash. Or actually the game froze, I couldn't move anymore. If that happens, we are just going to reload and I quickly redo the things that have not been done until this last save game. And it will be fine. The game just came out, so I always expect some kind of problems over there. So, let's check. Actually, it's the spacebar over here. We can't pause the game. The spacebar shows you the interactive items. So we are just going to look a little bit around in our chamber.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood.
And I have to say, I like the voice of the narration. It's really like somebody's reading a story to you.
There are apparently dwarves who have never seen the sky.
And you too feel more comfortable when you have rock over your head. If only you didn't long to see more of the world, a longing that grows stronger with every year.
Every year. I don't know what kind of accent that is. I never heard you before.
This is where you swung the forge hammer for the first time 30 cycles ago. No one taught you the craft. It was enough for you to watch Lot Yonan's old smith at work. Whenever the workshop was empty, you practiced and quickly mastered the craft with ease.
Well, our own axe. Well, you didn't have to show me how he says that. But we have an axe now. We are ready for fighting. Our inventory, at the moment, rather empty. And also nothing really special inside there. What you'll need to notice though is this here we have provisions for 2 days. We have 10 gold and we are at day number one of our adventure. So it seems like we always have to look out for a certain amount of food as well, which probably increases over the usage
You worked
increases.
a bit more on Sunya's birthday present last night. The little one is crazy about horses. You, on the other hand, prefer to keep your distance unless you're fitting them with hooves. Too many legs and way too big.
I would assume the more guys you are going to have in your party, the more you consume, but we'll see about that.
Everything you know about dwarves you learnt from books. The divine smith created the dwarves, and from time to time you make him an offering of some crumbs of gold. It's the most valuable thing you have to offer Vracus.
Vracus, the god of the dwarves, just if you haven't noticed that so far.
Hey, groundling! Come to the kitchen, we need you.
Jolison, a 4th degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance and disappears without waiting for your reply.
Well, if you ask so kindly, I think we need to join over there, right?
Tangdale! Quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting and the cauldron stuck in the fireplace. It's a heavy load and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty, dare do anything. They might burn their fingers, or even get a bit dirty.
Yeah, they are a little bit weird, these famuli. So, we could just talk around a little bit, but I think let's fix this thing.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this.
Yeah, he seems a little bit on the weak side. We could just go ahead and repair it right away, but since he asked so nice, let's talk to him
Do you
first.
remember when you dyed my beard with some magic spell? I had to shave it off.
You stroke your beard, which is unusually short for a dwarf.
Damn it! Ah, it's heavy!
The young human forces through his pursed lips, letting the pot sink a little.
Don't you dare ruin my goulash, boy!
The cook with beefy forearms glares at the young man, and after a brief moment, he tries harder.
I like that. I like this, these small punches in there.
With as much concern in your voice as you can muster, you say,
Oh, no, this doesn't look good.
you're pleased to notice he's dripping with sweat.
I'll get you back for this, groundling!
Okay, apparently that's the last thing we can do to tease him, so let's just quickly fix it, right? Does seem like a lot of work.
You damned freak!
For a moment, you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
Yeah, well, let's be honest, he started that one by just not being nice to me. We're going to inspect everything of you. I think I will just
draw the
I will
warm
stop
air in through your
reading
nose,
everything
and
out.
the smell makes your mouth
Or wait
start
for her to
watering.
finish her talking. I don't have to see how that is going to work out, if I'm too loud or she's too loud. But we'll see. Let's just check at the girl here.
I am your godfather, little one. I'll look after you just like I looked after your mother.
Little Akana grasps your calloused finger and smiles at you wide-eyed.
Maybe I have to correct myself because I really like that talking.
Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to handle her heavy wooden spoon, and that she may possibly have eyes in the back of her head.
Yeah, that's likely. In every kind of story that you read about any cook, you will have something like that in there.
The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to be the best beer in Idderslane. It's certainly your favourite beer, but you haven't drunk enough other beers to truly know.
When we go on our journey, we'll try to fix that problem. I'm almost certain about that.
Do you know what Lord Yonan wants?
The maid gives you an amused look. She has often accused you of making things more complicated.
Oh, more complicated than they actually are, I think she wants to say.
Do you know what Lord Yonan wants?
The maid gives you an...
They're necessary. Well, apparently that is an answer like I have no idea. Let's have a look around. There's something there.
Hey, what are you doing, groundling? We're still eating here. Why don't you go and get your own portion?
Okay, I just want to be friends and share with you.
The blacksmith. Do you want something?
Did a horse bolt while you were trying to shoe it? It's certainly not on our plates.
Okay, they're really not friendly, these family. I don't like them anymore. But we get experience and a little bit of food from over there. That's nice, isn't it? Experience is always something. I have no idea how the leveling up process works here. Well, obviously through experience points, but I didn't get a level up, so I don't know how the skill things are working. Apparently we are stubborn. We have more armor and damage output if our health goes beneath 30%, and that is just our mighty blow. Let's check.
Of the 200 or so people selected to learn the art of magic under Lot Yonan, there's barely a handful of them you can stand the sight of. You're not at all interested in magic in all its elusiveness and whimsy. Your realm is the Forge.
The Forge, the honest thing. Dirty work, hard work, but you know what you'll get out of that. Magic you can't rely on.
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with laboratories, a library, and private rooms for the famuli. Together with the forge, the kitchen, and the other utility rooms, it makes up quite an impressive complex. But compared to the courts of the other magi, the seat of power in Yonandar is small and modest.
Well, it seems like it's enough. You don't always need the biggest thing of everything, I think at least.
Lot Yonan didn't just take you in. He also taught you how to read and write. But you don't feel like reading right now. Especially as you already know all the books by heart.
So apparently we had sufficient time to read, right? There are a lot of books in a library normally. Especially if one of a magician. So now Lot Yonan, he's our... Well, he took us in when we were very young as a child. Actually, I think the story is going to be told in a second as well. Or at least they refer to it. Let's see.
Master Lot Yonan, Frala told me you wish to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure.
So, yeah, let's... What is inside? What am I carrying around 300 miles through the country?
What's in the bag?
Magical devices. You better leave the bag closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Rakus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
Well, apparently we have never met dwarves before, so maybe we will meet other ones.
Perhaps I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps. But don't hold out too much hope. And be careful who you talk to. Not everyone out there likes dwarves.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The Longnoses threatened to throw you into the nearest river.
Yeah, that was the reference to how we got over here. So, let's set off.
Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Varakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
So off we go to our big journey of 300 miles to deliver a bag of stuff that we have no idea what it is inside. Well, actually could have an idea, but I'm not telling. There is already a difference to the book, so I'm not sure. I might actually be surprised by one or two things as well of what is going to happen here. Let's say bye to Frala, because that's going to be a long journey, right?
Hello, Frala.
I need provision. Oh, actually, I got your present.
I've got a present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewellery in Girdlegard.
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said, but you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
And I also need provisions for 300
I need provisions
miles.
for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in Amagus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
So, yeah, we got a few provisions. That's good. We need that. And yeah, let's talk with her because we are very close with her. We know her since she's a baby. We took care of her while she was a baby. Now we are godfather of her daughter or one of her daughters. So let's talk with her a little bit more.
Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a tricky subject that you can't help but broach.
There aren't dwarves down here. You're the only one in Idaslane as far as we know.
I know, but I can't just have been born out of a rock. Somewhere in the mountains, I have a clan. Maybe even a family.
Yes. Maybe.
Frala has reminded you more than once that Lot Yonan wrote to the dwarf clans and none of them were missing a dwarf boy.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
So, let's get
I wish you the blessing of Palandiel and Varakas to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
That's where we come from, eh? Okay, now we got a lot of provision. We have provisions for 19 days. So let's go ahead and leave this area and get into our own little story. Up at this point we have checked so
Within
far.
a few moments you find Blacksaddle on the map. It is southeast of Parista, a little more than halfway between the city of the Magus Nudin and Lot Yonan's vaults. You trace the path from the vaults to the mountain with your finger. It doesn't seem far on the map, but it will be the biggest journey of your life.
Is there a small hint of stuff that's going to happen? Anyhow, let's go ahead and get out of here. So, what have we learned? We are Tungdir. We are a dwarf that has never seen other dwarves. We learned smithing rather quickly, just by looking at it and then just performing a little bit of it. And we are the godfather of the daughter of Frala. And a small story coming up.
How nice to see you again, Lotyonen. It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No. I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
Let's be honest about that. This Nudin does not look very healthy. And you've seen it in the eyes of Lotyonen when he saw him as well. Something
Utterly
is
blinded
odd,
by
right?
the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak.
Oh, so yeah, we're scrolling. This is the world map. We're at the moment here, and you can see that we cannot click wildly around and move freely. We are moving in these patterns, and are apparently either unlock and can move afterwards completely back here, or we can just move one field ahead every time. That might be called one day each step. I didn't pay attention to that first, but here's our goal. And as you, there was question marks over here. I haven't seen that as well. I think they might be side objectives, so we will drop by at these most of the time. But what you can see, and just going around while I talk about it, this map is huge. So much to explore. I'm not sure if every area can be accessed by now, or if it's going to be released book by book and you will just proceed into different areas later on. But look at that, it's just gigantic, and I'm looking very much forward to explore it all. Anyhow, we are quite ahead with the time, so I will make a quick cut over here, and next time we will go ahead with Tungdil and explore Edoslan, I think it was. Yeah, Edoslan. So, thank you very much for now, and I'll see you again next time, either here or somewhere else. But now, we call it a break, and bye for now.